Right then, good afternoon everybody and welcome to Extinguished Motorsports here for the Japanese Grand Prix. You join us a little bit late as we are here for the Grand Prix. We've missed qualifying unfortunately. The Grand Prix up next. Yesterday I commentated the Japanese Grand Prix in WRC and now we're here for Extinguished Motorsports Tech. Missed the Pro Series, I've not got the time for it unfortunately mate, but I think WRC are taking it under their wing on the Monday nights, and hopefully that goes all well. But just have not got the time to, to do it properly at the minute, which is a shame. But it is what it is. You need to get yourself in WRC as well. The league has gone massive at the minute. But I completely missed qualifying, so I do not know any of the qualifying starting order. It's going to be all over the place then here in Japan as we wait to see, first of all, how many drivers are here, and then how many, well, what the qualifying times are. Let's see how close it was. Well, here we go then, everybody. Of course, as you know, here in Extinguished Motorsports, it is the formation lap to begin with. Dom Pedrito in the Mercedes is taking pole position here in Japan. From Pepe, second place. Decker's then third. Davey 4. Static Lazy 5. Lee Q 6. P7 Owen. P8 Andrew Pittsmith. 9 Strailer Racing. 10 Perceval. 11 Sim Edge. 12 is Glad Rager. And 13 is Spectic Mad Max then. Here on the Wednesday evening. 13 drivers join us in a nice showing for Extinguished Motorsport. I've done so many WRC recently, my apologies. And it's very, very nice to be back. A brilliant track that it is as well here in Japan. I think 29 laps of racing. I could be wrong. I think that's how many we had yesterday. But the two-stop strategies that it's showing, as Ollie sounds on in the chat, he says there's no issues, always welcome in, Tech. Get yourself in there, mate. The league has gone big. It's gone big time. So many days of racing as well, always be able to accommodate you. And I'll be on the commentary Tuesday, Wednesday and Sunday at the minute. 2 of them for the mini-series that they're running, which is quite a nice one. But we're here for Extinguished Motorsports. I didn't see the qualifying session, unfortunately, but here for the Grand Prix and 13 people ready to give it everything. With Dom Pedrito on pole position in that Mercedes. And I saw a lot of people saying a lot of good things about him in the chat earlier on. Must have been a good lap then for Don as he heads through up towards 130R in these, of course, brand new generation of cars. But they don't take them just as well as they used to. But into the final chicane. And we'll wait for the Mercedes to line up in that P1 spot. Lee Q and Owen both disqualified from the formation lap as they are going to be getting lined up on the grid. Ollie Southall couldn't do it without such great commentators. I appreciate it, mate. I will not be going anywhere in WRC. What a league at the minute. The amount of views that the streams are getting as well. I cannot believe it, honestly. I really can't. Then we had 150 people earlier in the TikTok watching live for the Wednesday pre-season. But anyway, everybody, we are on the grid here and watching for Extinguished Motorsports. It's Dom Pedrito from the front in the Mercedes. The only Mercedes here, his teammate Lee Q down in 6th. My apologies. He's disqualified, though, from the formation lap. Dom Pedrito from P1 then, who qualified up at the front. Must have been a decent time, but can he lead this race down towards the first corner? The 5 lights ahead of the drivers as they get away. And the Mercedes looks good off the line then, but the Aston Martin already trying to beat him. And off pace, Pepe's much quicker down in towards turn 1. Decker's then up to second place now as Dom Pedrito loses out on time. It's Davey now in 4 as he follows through, and his teammate all the way down in 8th place, Static Lazy, with a horrible start then from him as you can see him going wide. Not ideal then for Static Lazy to get himself back on. He's got Perceval in front of him then. The Aston Martin trying to pull to the inside line to cover it off. Static Lazy not able to get through then at the moment. The tyres coming up on your screen. You can see it's a rainbow of colours then with the tyres tonight. We've got a few mediums, a few hards and a few softs then with the tyre compounds. Medium compounds compound tyres for Pepe, so as Deckers is going to try and overtake him. The Audi getting ever closer now to the race leader, looks for that lunge up the inside line, but knows a little bit better and doesn't do that just yet. Switching back underneath though for the Audi, Deckers going for that win, and he's absolutely on target for it at the moment. Only a tenth of a second to get him into the lead of this Grand Prix as he looks for the inside line, sends it through, and Deckers now leading. What a drive from Deckers already on the first lap, leading this Grand Prix. Wolfie plays in the chat. It's been a long time, subscribing at Tier 1 for 17 months. That man has been here so long. Thank you very much, mate, Wolfie. It's been a long time. I'm so glad to see you. I cannot believe how long it's actually been. I need to get CPG back on the commentary roster, mate. It's been a long time. Can Dave make an overtake here on League Q? It's not looking like he can at the minute, but keeping it close on the backside. Then here in Japan, the first lap of 27 rounds off, and it's Deckers with a 1:33.7, takes the fastest lap then in the Audi, leading this Grand Prix from Pepe's in second place, 3.5 tenths of a second, the gap between those two. Don Pedrito running in third then, as we have Davey trying to get through, not able to, unfortunately. It's Aston Martin getting racy. It's Andrew Pittsmith up the inside line of Percival. Got a little bit eager then on the trigger as he sent it too wide. The Aston Martin very nearly getting caught there as well in the action. Gets punted from behind. It's Percival who holds 7th place at the minute. Andrew Pittsmith running just in between all of this. And it's nearly 4 abreast then going into the left-hander here. The Audi up the inside line. He's got the Ferrari and now the other Ferrari on the grass. I think that was Stray Dog Racing, no, his teammate, sorry, of Owen, who went well off onto the grass, just about saved it. Stray Dog's ahead, looking a little bit better than at the moment as he tries to keep it in 10th place. Wants to try and build from there if he can. The first time I've seen Stray Dog involved in some proper racing in a while. It's nice to see him getting involved here with his teammate Owen, who's battling hard. 60% battery then left in his car, as he can use that and burn it all the way down towards the left hand of the Haas. Looked for a move, but knew much better than that. And Simej waiting back at the minute. The second lap then of 27 about to end here in Extinguished Motorsports. And the two Ferraris not leaving each other alone at all. 30% battery then being used here. I've been trying to push past his teammate. And wide there goes the Haas as well. Simej really struggling then with the tyres to keep himself on the track. The grip level's not where he wants them to be, and they should be high given that he's on the softs. It's wheel banging through the final few corners, but it's the Ferrari of Owen who gets out in front in this little battle. Simej now to 11, Stray Dog down to P12, and a horrible corner from him as he loses out. Simej going on his teammate, so now he's going to try and overtake Owen in the Ferrari, but not enough speed there, sorry, and couldn't get the overtake done. But the third lap of 27 and the Audi getting ever close to the gearbox of Percival. Hanging on the backside of him at the minute and not letting go. He's getting so much closer. Will this be an overtake on that Aston Martin? Sending it from very far back. Spectic Mad Max into 8th place. Percival now having to settle for 9th, and he might even get Owen on his tail in a few moments' time. The Ferrari already there. Not a lot of battery though in reserve, and that might be a bit of a problem for him when he comes up to this straight in a moment, exactly where you're going to want to use that battery. Percival has a lot more, and the overtake mode as well. This Ferrari of Owen will probably lose out here to Percival, who has got so much more battery and is going to be able to pull away when they get onto this back straight. I'm assuming he's going to have 100%, very nearly 80% here, round, and then onto the back straight. Long way down now towards 130R, where you can pretty much go flat out, and you can easily go flat out in these cars, especially how they lose the power, of course, with the battery management down the main straights. What's going on here? Going off, I think Don Pedrito down to 3rd. Pepe's now is your leader. Deckers 2. All of the order changing around as the top 2 battling still down towards turn 1. Pepe's holding the lead well. Only 4 laps into 27 though, and a lot can happen in the remaining amount of laps we have. At the moment though, Pepe's on the medium compound tyres, leading ahead of Deckers on the softs. And Deckers softs should be a lot better than those mediums at the moment. Eventually they will go off quicker than the mediums, but right now, on overall grip and pace, they should be far, far better. Deckers not ahead, though, at the minute. And this is, well, was a realistic performance league. I don't know if it is anymore. And if someone's in the chat that knows, let me know, because I've not been told. I did hear talks, though, about this new season coming into it being a, an equal performance league instead. So if somebody knows, absolutely let me know. The 2 Alpines then running well in 6 and 7, both on the medium compound tyres, only 3 laps old as well, as they've been on them since the start. But as I mentioned, it is a rainbow of colours for the for the drivers and the tyres, as Deck tells us it is equal performance. How he's telling us that from second place, I do not know. Messaging in the chat while he's just about to win a race. He's got a second to Pepe's in front. Deck is now trying to catch, but he's not getting the battery management right, is he? And he's down on time here from Pepe. He's a few percent of battery less, and that makes all the difference, unfortunately, in these brand new generation of cars. There's now a very late lunge up the inside for the Haas. The Alpine having to defend there, going a little bit deep on him. And it's going to be Andrew Pittsmith trying to come back. Looks for that outside line. Not enough room or pace either. The grit levels just weren't there for Andrew Pittsmith, and he will stay back to 6th position. Glad Rager then in 13th place, has got a 3-second time penalty, and that is the first penalty of the afternoon for anybody. Rager out of this race at the moment, nowhere near anybody, as the guys in front carry on. 5 laps in at 27. Some very great action that we've seen so far. As I go back, I don't know why it sounds like these guys are revving the knackers out of the engines. I really don't know. I think it might be a bug on the Xbox, because it never happens when I'm on the PC commentating. But Owen behind is trying to make this pass on Percival. The Ferrari against the Aston Martin. It's round the outside line, and what an easy move there for Owen. A sitting duck was the Aston. As he flies through, makes that look very easy indeed. No problem at all then from him. As he gets in front, Owen then running in 8th place. Ahead of that, Davey and Andrew Pittsmith having a bit of a battle, and the Alpine goes wide. That opens the doors here for the Haas to get through. Up the inside he goes, and it's 5th place all his. Now the Alpines in P6 and 7 trying to get through. They're not going to be able to at the moment, or are they? Into 130R. Much more pace here, and a lot more battery as well being used for the Alpine. It's Davey into 5th, dropping Andrew Pittsmith down to 6th, and Static Lazy running in 7th. Having to stick around, wait for his teammate to make these moves. I thought he was going to go through there as the Alpine battling against the Haas, and his teammate looks for the outside line. He's on the grass here as they're 3 abreast down towards turn 1, and it's going to be his teammate Davey who just about holds it in front. Static Lazy will go down to 6th, and I think the Haas is going to stay between them both on the 6th lap. The Alpine swarming this Haas at the minute, and one of them has managed to get through. Still waiting for that second one to find his way past. Let's see if he can do it this lap. We are 6 laps in of 27, and Static Lazy putting all of that pressure on the Haas. And right into the gearbox he is now. 5-lap-old soft compound tyres for Andrew Pittsmith, who will be struggling on them very soon. Pretty long lap around here in Japan as well. That's why we only have 27 laps of racing. Yellow flags there for somebody, and off the track for Rager. He's been struggling at the back, and now very nearly into the wall. I don't think he did. He looked like he caught it, but off the track indeed there, and that is going to be him massively out of the action today. Simedge is even further back there in P13. Rager in 12. Deckers has found himself in P11, but he's been into the pit lane here to get a new set of tyres. That new set is some mediums. I don't know what tyres he was on. I think he was on the soft compound, and he has come in now to get those sorted. It does make sense for him to come in on the softs here this early on. Deckers now, though, heading down towards the line, across the line. He starts his 7th lap of the race here, but he is down in P11 and waiting for people to, to get their pit stops in. Well, this battle is far from over, and Spectic Mad Max then looking for that overtake on the Ferrari, keeping himself right on the rear side here. Not able to make that pass just yet. Still 20 laps to go as well, so no reason to be getting a move on at this point in the race. Mad Max with a time penalty as well, which is going to be a bit of an issue with, well, to him especially, unless other people around him get penalties as well, then it might even it out. But at the moment, at this stage in the race, Mad Max one of the only drivers with a penalty, and that will affect him and him only. That's the Ferrari straight as well, keeping himself right on the backside and updated on what is going on with Percival. Heads round and onto the back straight down towards 130R. The Ferrari getting a very nice run here on the Aston Martin, but is it enough to send a move on him? You have to have a bit of confidence to send a move through 130R. Wasn't able to there. The Aston Martin managing to hold it. These guys in front though are still battling, and the Ferrari running well at this moment in time. I think Mad Max has got through though. The Ferrari trying to fight back, both with equal amounts of battery here, both burning down towards turn one. Running out then for both of them as they're both sitting ducks, and it's the Audi with just a little bit more raw pace down the straight who's going to go round that outside line. I think he might just be able to take it away from the Ferrari here as they continue battling through the first few corners, and Mad Max has got that done and dusted into 7th place at the moment. Well, Andrew Pittsmith and Davey and Static Lazy, once again, the Alpines have finally found their groove, and they're on the backside of the house here. One has been through and past. Davey manages to get into 4th. Here comes Static Lazy, and as he gets ever closer for a move here on the house, and I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to do it or not. Keeping himself very close and updated here on the situation. Not able to get ahead just yet, and here comes the house of Andrew Pittsmith. Will run out of battery down towards the left-hander. A lot more here for Davies. He has 10%. Doesn't turn it off though, burns every last bit to 0% down towards the final few corners. Oh, and inspecting Mad Max as well. They're very close. So they head down towards the final chicane, out of the final corner and towards the line then. It's Pepe's 1.5 seconds ahead of second place here, Dom Pedrito. Pepe's in the Aston Martin, leading and going for that win as it stands. Lap 9 of 27. The race ticking by very, very quickly indeed. Some pit stops coming in as well. Here comes Andrew Pittsmith and Percival. New tyres on for him. It's the hards, and Percival should be coming in for the hards as well, we can only assume. Unless it's the medium. It is the mediums. Yeah, the medium's there for Percival as he will come out of the pit lane. It's the hards for Andrew Pittsmith. So different tyres here, but we haven't got any red on the tyres anymore. It's only the mediums and the hards as Rager with a 3-second time penalty and yellow flag then in the final sector as the Audi sends a very confident move up the inside line of Owen. He's through. Mad Max once again sending an insane move. 6th position then is all his, and he is on the 8-lap old hards as it stands. Pretty much the same as everybody else around him. Rager is out, and that is a virtual safety car. No full safety car here, only a virtual into the barrier there, I think, for one of the drivers. But it's Rager who brings out a full safety car now. No VSC. The yellow dot on your screen indicates a full safety car being deployed. As Pepe's leading this race, not what he wanted to see. He was running well, but now will go into the pit lane the same as pretty much every single other person here, apart from the drivers that have just been into the pit lane. They'll be pretty gutted about this. It's not really what they wanted at all, is it? Well, as you can see, then everybody's safety car has been deployed, and we've had a lot of drivers coming in for a pit stop. Decker's not happy with how that has planned out. Now he's down to P10 on fresh tyres, but they're all starting from a clean slate now, and P10 for him is going to be a struggle to make his way through the order, especially on hard compound tyres. They're not really very racy, and he will struggle for the grip. Pepe's leads, though. And he's in the best spot out of everybody. Dom Pedrito's not in a bad spot either. On the medium tyres, and they are very much brand new. They'll have a lot more grip than the hards as well. So if you can get the start right, Dom Pedrito will go ahead and and lead this race later on. Stray Dog has stayed out to gain track position. It is third place for the Ferrari, but on much older tyres, he will really start to struggle when the safety car gets restarted. I'd love to see him on the podium. It's been a long time since I got to spoke to him in the commentary box, but we'll see what he can do. He is on 9 laps older tyres than everybody else, and 9 laps on tyres around here is a hell of a lot. It really is. The 10th lap of 27 in the safety car, looking like it's going to be with us for one more lap of driving behind. Then we can go racing again. It is the 10th lap, going on to lap 11 now, and it should be lap 12 when we go racing again. And in the pit stop now for for Stray Dog, he does make that pit stop now. Not entirely sure why he didn't. Might have been the way that it lined up. But Stray Dog racing in P10, now coming in for a pit stop and new tyres. Percival in as well. Drivers getting their final pit stops in under this safety car. Percival and Stray Dog both getting them done. Mediums for Stray Dog, hards for Percival. They both come out now, very much so, nearly at the back of the grid. It'll be Pepe's to lead the drivers away. The Aston Martin, the leading driver, will be the 12th lap when we go racing again. And he's on the brand new hards. Pretty much everybody here is on brand new tyres, apart from Andrew Pittsmith, who's been on his tyres one lap older than everybody else at the minute. We just wait for the call, and perfectly on cue, the safety car coming in at the end of this lap, everybody. The moment we've all been waiting for, finally. Lap 12 of 27 will be the racing lap again. Finally, we get to go, and this is going to be Pepe's as your leader. He's going to leave it incredibly late. Leaving it very late indeed around the final turn. Remember, no overtaking until they cross the timing line, and they're basically already at the timing line as he will set off flying now, and it is Pepe's with a great start in the Aston Martin. It's got competition from both Mercedes this time. It's 3 abreast from behind that as well, down towards the first corner, and from the back as well. It's looking like the race leader's safe at the moment, though. 3/10 of a second to Dom Pedrito behind as he's not able to contest or bring any competition then to the leader at the moment. The second Mercedes, though, is starting to suddenly gain here on Dom Pedrito, and only 4/10 of a second between them. It's Mad Max up to 4th as well, and he's been on a great race at the minute. He is on the 2-lap-old softs, meaning he won't be able to go to the end on these set of tyres, the same as if these, the hard runners decide to go to the end. That is probably more likely in this race. But Spectic Mad Max would struggle and has got another pit stop to be made. As well as that, he's got a time penalty as well. So his race is not looking ideal. Might look all good at the moment, but when you factor all that in, he's going to start to struggle later on. Here comes the Ferrari of Owen then. He sends the car up the inside line. A static lazy. Wasn't enough room there. Made a bit of contact on him. Owen drops down to 7th place, not able to make that dive or the lunge then to get ahead of Static at the moment. Behind that is Stray Dog Racing and engaging wrist. Andrew Pittsmith, he goes round the outside line, but in doing that sends it a little bit too deep. Does manage to hold on to it somehow though. Stray Dog running in 10 as going wide goes Simej, the other Haas car, struggling to keep the grip, and now we've got Percival who's catching him as well. Percival onto the outside. through past one. Looked like he was going to make it two here on the backside of the Ferrari. He's going to go for it now, though. A lot more battery and trying to use it down towards the right-hander. Braking later across the curb, but nothing was enough to keep him in front. Sweater Racing with a lot better defending move going on here, and he manages to keep P10 very well indeed. The Aston Martin's not done yet, though, as he'll draft all the way down towards turn one in this slipstream then pulls into the dirty air. It's not ideal for Percival, not able to push past just yet, and the Ferrari holding 10th place as it stands then. We go back up to the front then. It's Pepe's on the 13th lap of 27, leading by 7/10 of a second then in this Grand Prix at the moment. Then it's Dom Pedrito too. You get Lee Q running in third then, and Spectic Mad Max in four. P5 is Davey to complete the top five, but he has got a time penalty now. As speaking of that, Simed gets the 3 second, running it wide there for the Alpine, but luckily for him, nobody near him to pick up on those pieces. Owen gets through past Deckers here, though. Deckers is up a few places from when he was down in P10 earlier on, but being overtaken by Owen here, who is going to try and take it back off again, drafting behind him, even pushing him through these next few corners. Owen just about keeps his footing though, and it's not looking like Deckers are going to get his way. Back up the inside though, Deckers now will use all of that battery to keep himself in front, slinging it up the inside line. And I think he might just get ahead here. Deckers into 6th, Owen down to 7th place, but can the Ferrari fight back into the chicane? He can fight back very much so. Static Lazy with a 3 second time penalty as the drivers head round the final turn and towards the line. Here comes Owen on the backside of Deckers all the way down in towards turn one. These battles never ending then in Extinguished Motorsports, and the Ferrari giving it everything to make this overtake on the Audi. Behind that is the Alpine as well. Static Lazy doing what he can to keep within a few tenths of a second of the guys in front. And on only lap 14 of 27, some very great racing action from Extinguished Motorsports, and I have to say, the equal performance that they've changed it to definitely has helped in some ways with the racing action and the overall driving standards that we get, in my opinion, are a lot better. We've got Lee Q retiring, and that is yet again another full safety car, everybody. Safety car comes out, Lee Q and Rager both out of the Japanese Grand Prix. And here on the 14th lap of 27, safety car number 2 comes out. Dom Pedrito this time being your leader over Pepe's. Dom Pedrito, as I mentioned, would have the advantage on the medium compounder tyres, and he's managed to do so. Did gain a 1.2 second gap as well. However, that is coming down, and he will be gutted about that as the safety car is out. Pepe's might be fairly happy, as it's going to give him a chance to be reeled back in again. Are we going to get any pit stops is the question. Not too sure. I think the soft runner of Mad Max might come in. Probably a bit silly for him not to on those tyres. I think he should really come in now. Lap 14 of 27 though, and we're about half race distance now. As they don't go in, Mad Max has got to come in. Surely his softs need changing. He does come in. Davey continues on. Deckers comes in. There's a mixture actually of drivers that have come in and stayed out. Let's go to the front. Well, at 15 and 27, we had some great racing action so far, but this is the second safety car then of this Grand Prix at the minute. And Dom Pedrito this time around is your race leader. Was Pepe's on the first safety car restart, this time it is Dom Pedrito. He's on the much better medium tyres at the moment, but give it a bit of time and they will start to die off compared to the hards. Dom Pedrito will be the man that is struggling later, but it isn't going to come just yet. And this safety car is going to help him nurse the tyres through a few more laps as well. Well, lap 16 of 27. This should be the last lap around now behind the safety car. Straight Up Racing decides to go into the pit lane. I'm not too sure what's going on here. He's heading very slowly in. I'm not too sure why he's in. That might be some wing damage potentially, unless it's a drive-through. No, it is a change of the tyres. Surely a wing as well. It is the wing. That must be why he came in. And he comes out onto the soft tyres. Can he go on them till the end then? With 11 laps left of racing. I think it's possible, but they're going to struggle. Well, here we go then, everybody. The moment we've all been waiting for. The 17th lap will be the racing lap because the safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. Here we go then. The end of the second sector comes, and that is the announcement we've been waiting for. The safety car in at the end of this lap. Everybody's been caught up behind the safety car now. Some people at the back are on brand new tyres, but the top 6 have not decided to come in for a change. They're on the same tyres as they put on under the first safety car. Now they're going to try and go on them till the end, I assume, unless I don't think the medium runner is going to be able to. It's a big slide there for Dom Pedrito. Catches him off guard slightly. He does try and lead down in towards the first corner. There we go, racing again. It's the Aston Martin of Pepe's who's going to try and catch him up. This is for the race lead. And Pepe's was leading quite a lot earlier on. This time, struggling to get back through. Dom Pedrito's mediums clearly have a lot more grip than over the hard compounds at the minute, and that is what is allowing the Mercedes to keep himself in front and build a little bit of a gap. There's 0.2 of a second at the moment. Remember, it was nearly 2 seconds of a gap earlier on, already building to 0.3. Can Dom Pedrito run away with it again and build a gap over second place? Pepe's doing everything in his power to catch up. Davy's not too far back either on the podium, but with a time penalty as it stands, would lose it to Percival, I believe, in 5th, who has not got a penalty. Static Lazy in front of that has, and that is what is going to bring Percival up to the podium places. Only 10 laps of racing left then, and this is where having a no time penalty would help a lot of people. Percival in 5, though, no time penalties to him, and he currently is sat on a net P3. Three-way battle then at the back of the track here. Is it Sim Edge and the other Haas car battling? I think somebody's off the back of the track there. Straight Up Racing going off onto the grass, just about catching that. He's on the soft compound tyres, and he should really be coming through the pack here on new tyres, but he's struggling to do so as the Audi makes contact here on the Haas as they are level pegging up towards 130R. Who's going to get out in front, the Audi or the Haas? As you have to hold your breath into this corner, and it's the Haas on the outside line. The Audi just about backs off there in the very last minute, and the Haas now sending it back up the inside line. Both of them bring the action to this Audi in the middle. Simedge goes into 8. It's Andrew Pittsmith now who tries to come through and help his teammate, but the Audi's got other plans as his switches back underneath. Now the other Haas as well. As contact is made, that's the Audi round into the wall. Deckers goes into the barrier. And he has had some bad luck this evening, hasn't he? Now into the wall, and that is huge wing damage on the front left for Deckers. 3-lap-old mediums have gone to waste now as he hits the wall. And Deckers now at the back of the track. It's gone from bad to worse for this man on your screen. Got involved in some carnage here at the back. And now P11 for the Audi, the very back of the grid then this evening. Lap 18 of 27. Dom Pedrito still your leader, and as I mentioned, he is extending that gap. Davies back in for a little bit more than he'd like to there, and that's brought his teammate within a second and into play, keeping him quite close behind here then as they head up towards the right-hander. Can Static Lazy... Oh, my bad. Static Lazy in 3rd. They did swap around already, but can Davey come back through as he's trailing his teammate? Deckers says he's used every tyre. GG's, I guess. Deckers can't do anything else now. He's used every single tyre that he has. Everything that goes on to from this point on is used. Owen now at the inside line. The Ferrari sends it on the Audi again. Said that a lot of times today. And Owen into P6 as Mad Max now losing a position. He goes down to 7th, having to settle for that at the moment. And the Aston Martin Percival not too far in front as well. And back to the action at the front. The gap has now all of a sudden come down to 0.2 of a second. The gap that was suddenly starting to build on the safety car restart has all of a sudden come back down again. And Peppi's is reeling him back in. Dom Pedrito as your leader, but I don't think it'll be like that for very long. The Aston Martin all of a sudden has found some pace, and that has come from the mediums probably starting to degrade quicker than these hards do. Peppi's with the advantage at hand here then, both in equal in machinery. But the tyres, of course, play completely huge parts in who is quicker here. Well, that's it for Deckers, then he retires from the session. Deckers out of the Grand Prix this evening as it's gone from bad to worse for him. No more tyres to use, and he's out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Deckers out in 11, Lee Q 12, and Rager in 13 out as well. 3 people we lose then, with still 10 more racing on the 19th lap, and your leader Dom Pedrito trying to fend Peppi's off. He's doing a great job of it so far. Not a lot of battery though compared to Peppi's here, and this will give him the advantage. Davies had something happen to him, and he's all the way down to P7 and losing even more places. Might even lose out to the Ferrari catching him up here. Davey down to 8th place and somehow lost out massively. He was running in 4th earlier on. He's gone down 4 places, or 5 places actually. As here's Percival and Andrew Pittsmith as well, hitting in from the side there. The Haas goes up the inside line and towards the line, leading for a moment this little battle. Percival's not having any of that though, as he sends his car around the outside line. Sitting duck is the Haas, and it is Percival into P6. Andrew Pittsmith down to 7. Davey then running in 8, 9 straight up racing, and Simedge nowhere to be seen at the moment in P10 at the back. But lap 20 of 27 has begun, and 7 more remaining as engaging wrist. Andrew Pittsmith getting ahead of Percival here. And contact made, the Alpine hitting the backside. That allows straight up racing to come through with much grippier soft compound tyres. The yellow flags up at the front then as somebody has a bit of a moment. Straight up cuts the corner slightly to try and gain an advantage here. Not able to do so. Still holding it on the backside of Percival, who's racing well on his 9-lap-old hard compound tyres at the moment. I really don't know why it sounds like he's revving the knackers out of the car. I don't think that's straight up racing, because I'm hearing it on everyone's car. There you go. It's happening on Percival as well. I think there might be a bug with the Xbox, because it doesn't happen on the PC. It's very annoying. So we're not going to go on board very often, everybody, because that is very annoying indeed. As through the final chicane we go. Lap 21 now of the race. Spectic Mad Max trying to hunt down Owen in 4th position. Owen 1 place away from the podium and will be on the podium in a few moments time when the race ends, because Static Lazy has got a 3-second time penalty, and that is going to allow Owen to jump a place and be 3rd place at the end of this Grand Prix. Spectic Mad Max with 1 as well, and that is going to let Andrew Pittsmith jump a place as well. And with everyone being so close, Andrew Pittsmith might even get 4th place here, depending on how close everybody is. The safety car helping a lot of the drivers out here that didn't get a time penalty just yet. Straight up racing, getting ahead of Percival here as well. His soft compound tyres finally starting to do the job they were designed to do. He's out ahead in 7th place, and this could be one of the best finishes of the season for Straight up if he can continue on. It's a very nice race so far, and he is going to try and catch the guys in front. They've got about 3 seconds of a jump on him. He's got a bit of work to put in to do that. 2.8 seconds the gap though, and it is coming down, having a very nice go at it. I hope to see him here catching up. Dom Pedrito around the final turn again. The gap between him and Peppi's is now come to 2.7 seconds, and that is because, well, actually, I was going to say the mediums have fell off, but it's the medium driver that is leading out in front. So that's completely wrong, isn't it? It's been a great race so far then for Dom Pedrito. Yeah, Deckers, it really has, mate. We had 150 people watching me commentate earlier on in the TikTok. The night before that, we had over 200 people between the Twitch and the TikTok as well. We had so many gifts and gifted subs being sent too. And it's just three people. They don't even want to race, some of the people. They're just sending gifts in and watching along as a fan. And it's insane. We've covered 500,000 views on TikTok as well in the last few days, and just today's stream alone gained us 90 new followers, which is just mental. Some position changes going on in the middle of the pack here, and that has all been wrapped up on lap 22. Dom Pedrito running a lonely race, but the tyres might just be starting to fall off now. That gap has come down. It was over 2 seconds a moment ago, if you remember me saying. Now it's 1.6 and dropping quite quickly. Is Pepe's going to get a go here on Dom Pedrito again? Can he go for that win? Either way, both of them are going to be in the commentary box later for an interview because both of them without a time penalty and the three people behind them have one. The chance of them not getting a podium today is very slim. So we're probably going to be speaking to them later on. Keep an eye on that gap because it has come down and it's 1.0 second, 1 second on its own now between the race leaders 1 and 2. And I think Pepe's going to get a shot at the win here. Only about 4 laps of racing left, and finally Pepe's catching up. The medium compound tyres must be slightly falling off now, as Pepe's is just slightly catching up lap by lap. And Aston Martin doing everything he can to get there. Will it be enough come race end? The gap just nearly below a second. Now it is below a second as he uses all his battery here to save up. This is Dom Pedrito now, and he's got 70% as opposed to Pepe's 40%. A lot more to Dom Pedrito, and that is what is going to allow him to get back in front and extend that gap again down towards turn 1. 8/10 the gap now, but you're going to see that start to go up here because Dom Pedrito with a little bit more battery, that'll allow him to just have that safe zone, have that buffer zone to stay in front. Pit stop coming in for Davey now then in the Alpine. Don't know what's going on with him, but he was running well earlier in 4th place, down to 9th now. It's all gone wrong. Honestly, don't know why the car sounds like that. Hopefully it gets fixed. But Pepe's given it his best shot, and that gap that was once about 2.7 seconds at the most has now come down to 7/10 of a second, not 2 seconds off of that time at the minute. Now going round, we'll be starting lap 25 in a minute, 27 laps, so only a few more to go. Pepe's doing everything in his power to catch up, potentially take that race win, but with the battery being used, both of them pretty much on equal percentage here, and the gap 8/10. Who uses the battery more wisely? Pepe's burning then around the final turn. The same with Dom Pedrito, he switches off then over the line. Is it going to be the same place to switch off here for Pepe's? It is. Both of them do the same thing. both pretty much on equal percentages. You can just see that switching underneath. Lap 25 or 27, and the gap's not really changing around anymore. They've hit rock bottom here. Dom Pedrito and Pepe's 8 tenths looks like it's the lowest they're going to get to. With these guys finally bringing the action to each other. 0.3 of a second the gap between Pepe's and Dom Pedrito. It's been a little while since I've seen these two together, both on 15-lap old tyres, but one is on the mediums and one is on the hards. Mediums will be absolutely crying for help then at this point in the race. The same with the hards as well, so if they're saying that, the mediums are going to be even worse. This is going to be for the race lead then. We're going to go head down towards 130R. The Aston Martin looking for that move up the inside. Having to wait back at the minute, knows that there's no room to do that just yet. And he knows he's got 2 more laps to get the move done. No messing around anymore then for the Aston. This is a move that needs to be made before the end of this race then to win. Both of them without a time penalty, so it is completely down to raw race pace now. Lap 26, the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix begins. And Dom Pedrito and Pepe's set on each other for, well, probably the second time this evening since the safety car restart. Dom Pedrito ahead. Pepe's putting all that pressure on. The gap that was once 2.7 seconds now only a tenth, and the Aston Martin drafting right behind the Mercedes gearbox all of a sudden is involved in this lead. He's doing everything in his power to try and get ahead here, but the Mercedes not letting him take any chance of getting through. I say there you go again, everybody. The penultimate lap of the race, straight up with a penalty, but the top two are battling it out for the race win. Dom Pedrito is your leader. Pepe's in P2. Either of them deserve this race. They've been battling very hard all evening long. Dom Pedrito, unfortunately for him, on the medium tyres, they are going to be absolutely cooked and they're falling off now as Pepe's on the hards with a little bit more grip left in them. Manages to fly through up the inside. Is he enough here to get in front? I think he is. Pepe's leading this Grand Prix now. Again, you can see him checking his mirrors. Dom Pedrito has been left behind. Pepe's going on to the final lap. Is your race leader here in Extinguished Motorsports. These two going at it all onto the last lap now. And the Mercedes finding a little bit of grip on the outside line to try and get ahead. The mediums just not working the way that he'd like them to at the end of this race, but still trying to do everything in his power to get ahead. Too much on the curb there and he loses out. Pepe's ahead. And the gap now being 0.3 of a second. Is it done between Pepe's and Dom Pedrito? The Mercedes knows that there is a back straight coming up before the final turn, and it can be done there, but can he do it? Only 0.4 of a second the gap. It's more than possible. The Mercedes has been leading for a long amount of time, and to get it snatched away from you at the end like this is painful, but he knows he can take it back. All he needs to do is save his battery up. It's actually the red fuel light on for Pepe's. He might run out of fuel towards the line. Just to throw another spanner in the works then of this 1 and 2 battle. Is Pepe's going to run out of fuel? He's barely got any left to get himself towards the line. Red fuel light on, meaning he's running very, very low. Less than 1 lap of fuel left in his car. I don't know if he's run out. He's looking a little bit slower. Or maybe it's just my eyes. Dom Pedrito with a 0.6 of a second gap, getting bigger and bigger and really struggling to get any closer here. I think the Aston Martin into the final corner on the low fuel mode, but still enough. I think he's ran out towards the line, I'm not entirely sure, but across the line, just about done it. It is Pepe's who can breathe a sigh of relief and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. It's Dom Pedrito for second place. I thought Pepe's ran out of fuel at the end there, somehow managed to drag it towards the line. Dom Pedrito for the second place on the podium, and Static Lazy, he takes up the final spot on the podium in third. It's Andrew Pittsmith 4, Owen 5, Spectic Madback 6, P7 Perceval, 8 Straight Racing, 9 will be Simedge, and 10 will be Davey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it then for WRC. I keep saying WRC for Extinguished Motorsports, and that is your podium. What a race. I'm going to see if we can get some interviews with the drivers as well. Race winner for Pepe, then Don Pedrito, fastest lap. Spectic Mad Max driver of the day. Most overtakes to Percival and cleanest driver to Don Pedrito. There's your results then, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us for a moment as I'm going to try and get the top three in the interview room tonight. Hopefully we can have a little bit of a chat with them. So bear with us, and I'll see if anybody wants to have a chat about the race. Of course, the top three is what we are going to get in here. Hello. Hello. 2 seconds, and I will get on with your interview. Just making sure that you can be heard on the stream. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here, mate. I'm just I'm trying to make sure you can be heard on the stream, but it's not letting me add your audio at the minute. So I'm just trying to sort it out, and then I'll start. Right, I'm having to do it a little
No,
bit
no.
different. Let's have a look. Are we ready? Am I okay to start?
Yep. He's good.
Might as well, yeah.
Right, let's have a look. We'll go with Pepe's first, then race winner, if you're okay with that, mate.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Well, of course, race winner. Are you happy with that? What's your thoughts on the result, mate?
Honestly, it was really crazy race. I was trying to pass Don Pedrito in the last laps. First adept I almost make a crash and disqualify all of us both. Sorry, but yeah. Then I got like 3 seconds gap to him. I was like pushing to the limit to catch and be in the boost mode. But yeah, at the last lap, finally I managed to just get him in the last corners. So really great battle, and his defense was really, really good.
Yeah, were you confident coming into this? Is this a track that you quite happy with, or were you a bit nervous about where you finished?
Yeah, I'm really happy. First, so the qualify was not so good for me. I make a mistake in the second attempt. So yeah, the time should be better for sure. But yeah, second position, and at the start I get to the first. So it was good. On the first sprint, I was controlling everything. The static, I think, was behind me in the stop. So I was not afraid about this because the soft tires on this track are really not so good. So yeah, but the second stint and the safety car really a little bit ruined my strategy. But at all, it went great. So
Good stuff. And a result like that, does it give you good confidence in terms of the championship finishing high at the end of the season?
it depends if I'm going to be available for all the races. But if I'll be, then for sure I will fight for the championship.
Good stuff. Glad to hear it. Thanks for your time, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, Static Lazy, third place, and
Yeah.
decent result. What's your take on that? Are you happy with it?
I'm just grateful for points. Any points at the moment is going to be pretty vital towards the end.
Yeah.
So
Well, is this a result you were expecting, or have you surprised yourself with it?
I was just expecting just to finish this race. Because I started qualifying, I was like, no, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
And then put in a half decent time, and then I went, oh, it's going to go well.
How was
But
Go on, sorry.
yeah. Yeah, it was just a bit weird. It was at the start, 'cause I think I got rear-ended a little bit. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Honestly, cannot remember. There's been a lot that went on in the stream. I did miss majority qualifying, but how was that for you? How was it putting the lap together? Did you struggle, or was it fairly easy?
It was mainly just struggling around it because the battery around it is not that great.
Yeah,
Like, if you can get through to the last sector and have like 20% battery left, and then that's that done.
it does seem like a tough one. To be fair, it really does. But is this a track? Forgetting about the battery management and things like that, is this a track that you enjoy coming to, or is it one of the dreaded
Yeah,
ones?
it's a nice track to come to every time, but this year it's gotten a little bit worse, but it's still fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, still very nice getting the P3 on the penalties there. Great result, and thanks very much for your time, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I will bring the. Well, we'll end on this screen then, everybody. Thanks very much for joining me. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed. See you again next Wednesday, and good night.